Today, we are looking at unit fractions of a set of objects. But first, to get you warmed up, pause the video and have a go at your starters. Fractions are fantastic when it comes to sharing with your friends because it helps you to share equally. To find any fraction, you must first divide into equal parts. This pizza has been divided into 4 equal parts, or quarters. So if there are 4 of you, you can have 1 quarter each. Here is a selection of sweets. Four blue ones and 3 pink ones. Let's work out how many there are of each sweet as a fraction. First of all, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 sweets altogether, so the denominator is 7. Remember, the denominator is the number that goes on the bottom. This means that we are using sevenths. We already know the denominator is 7, but as a fraction, how many of the sweets are blue? Well, 4 out of the 7 sweets are blue. So as a fraction, four sevenths are blue. As a fraction, how many of the sweets are pink? Let's count them. Well, 3 sweets are pink out of 7 altogether. So the numerator is 3. 3 sevenths of the sweets are pink. Here are some apples. As a fraction, how many of these apples are red? Well, first of all, let's count all of the apples, and that will give us the denominator. And there are 5 apples altogether, so the denominator is 5. To find out what fraction of the apples are red, we just have to count the number of red apples, and there are 2. So the numerator of our fraction is 2. Let's have a look at the green apples now. As a fraction, how many of the apples are green? Well, we already know that there are 5 apples altogether, so that our denominator is 5. And we just have to work out the numerator by counting the number of green apples. Well, there are 3 green apples, so our fraction is going to be 3 out of 5, or 3/5. Here are some hats. We want to know how many hats are green as a fraction. Well, there are 5 green hats, so the numerator is 5. But we need to write this as a fraction, so we need to find the denominator. How do we do this? Well, we count the number of hats that there are all together. And altogether, there are 6 hats. So the number of green hats as a fraction is 5 out of 6, or 5/6. So which of these numbers is the numerator and which number is the denominator? Well, the numerator tells us how many hats are green. That's 5. And the denominator tells us how many hats there are all together, and that's 6. Can you work out the fraction for how many of the hats are pink? Pause the video and have a go. Well, one of the hats is pink out of 6 hats altogether. So 1 out of 6 is pink, or 1/6. Now it's your turn. As a fraction, how many of these balls are green? Pause the video and work it out. Okay, so to work out how many balls are green, let's count them first of all. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 green balls. So our numerator is going to be 4. Our denominator is how many balls there are altogether. Let's count them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 balls altogether. So our denominator is 6. So the fraction of balls that are green is 4 out of 6, or 4/6. Okay, it's your turn again. Remember, the denominator goes on the bottom and it tells us how many items we have altogether. The numerator goes on the top and it tells us how many items we have shaded. Now pause the video, find this worksheet in your workpack and have a go. Write the fraction to match the pictures. Pause the video, find this slide in your workpack and write a fraction for each picture.